Hasbro toy store, more like the has no toy store. Come on! Oh, hello. You know, the future is digital, and so offering the absolute best program software for any company, let alone Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, is key. With Magic Arena now in open beta, Wizards of the Coast is pushing hard to position itself as a legitimate digital card game capable of standing shoulder to shoulder with titles like Hearthstone, while also fending off upcoming contenders such as Artifact. I previously reviewed the Magic Arena closed beta, but here I'd like to analyze and discuss the key additions and changes that I feel are necessary before Arena exits the beta stage entirely. Now, I'm not going to be listing things like add old sets in the modern format because, well, I want that very, very much more than anything. In fact, it is not a reasonable expectation to have when Arena leaves its open beta. Also, please note, this video is not sponsored nor in any way supported by Magic Arena, Wizards of the Coast, nor the Hasbro Corporation. To do so would represent an extreme conflict of interest. Since I am completely unsponsored and unsupported whatsoever by Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, I can say and do whatever I want. You may not agree with my evaluations, but know that they are my own and no one else's. Let's begin with a theme deck league. I have a history of not being a fan of starter decks Wizards of the Coast develops, but Magic Arena's introductory theme decks are actually quite good. I really enjoy playing these against one another. They are flavorful, introductory without being so powered down as to be slow or overly grindy, and even experienced players can enjoy the gameplay as much as casuals can. There's just one problem. There's no theme deck league. If I do free play with a theme deck, yes, I might get paired up against another. Or I might get paired up against someone who took a theme deck and altered it, maybe just a little by shoving some History of Benalia's in it, maybe a lot by fully upgrading it, and I can even get paired up against someone's fully upgraded Tier 1 standard deck. There's no telling. While Arena uses some amount of deck-based matchmaking, there's not a hard rule assigning you to play one of the other theme decks. So why not offer that option? A theme deck league, which ensures you are doing theme deck against theme deck. No upgrades. That way, everyone is on the same playing field. This is great for new and casual players because they're not going to get smashed by a hyper-competitive person's upgraded deck, but it also can be of interest to more experienced and, competitive players because when you have the same pool of cards as your opponent, it becomes a test of skill. So by having a theme deck-only league, you offer something for both new, casual, and experienced players to enjoy. And speaking of non-standard gameplay, number 7, Singleton is a permanent format. Magic Arena Singleton is a fantastic format. It exists only on Arena, where players build 60 card standard legal decks using no more than one copy of each card. The gameplay is top-notch, the deck building exciting, and its limited testing during the closed beta was met with a huge positive reception. The only problem? It isn't a permanent fixture. It was just a test this out briefly sort of thing. No, make it permanent. You can't just have standard and draft. If older formats like Modern and Legacy are years off, then in the meantime, diversify your offerings by embracing formats such as Singleton. It not only gives people options when they maybe start to get bored with just doing standard or draft every day, but as a format only supported on Arena, it gives a distinction to the program. Arena, being the only source of official Singleton gameplay, will mean Singleton fans will flock to it, hype the platform, encourage more to join Arena to grow Singleton. Content and articles will become regular fixtures. Embracing Singleton is win-win for everyone. And speaking of win-win for everyone, number 6, continue the tutorial. With Magic Arena, we finally have a rudimentary tutorial where new players can be taught not just how to use the program's interface, but the basics of Magic the Gathering gameplay as well. This is huge. We've never had this. Magic Online doesn't even teach you how to use Magic Online, let alone how to play Magic the Gathering. But with Arena, people who don't know how to play Magic can now go through this brief and basic tutorial and begin playing Magic the Gathering right away. And all for free. Even for paper players, this is big, because the most noteworthy obstacle to getting in new players to the game is just learning the complexities of the game. Now, we can say to anyone who wants to learn, hey, just go online, sign up for Arena, it's 100% free, and it'll teach you how to play. But it needs to go further. The tutorial should not be a one-time brief foray into the basics, but rather a scaling online learning tool. Continue not only to improve and refine it for the early stages, but keep building on later stages with more tests, more lessons, and more rewards for new players for following it. Heck, maybe make it so that grinding your way through the tutorial gets you exclusive theme decks or a few coins to spend on a draft, so that new players are incentivized to continue their lessons. Maybe even have some intermediate stuff at a certain point. Or, you can always just sit through my own classes on the subject, teaching Magic the Gathering lessons on mulligans, sideboarding, how to be a better aggro, how to be a better control, how to be a better combo player, tempo player, mana curve, card advantage, mid-range, aggro versus defense, play groups and testing, and more. Whatevs. Number 5, competitive prizes. Arena should not forget competitive players, and the best thing to offer them in this area is competitive prizes. Artifact has a $1 million tournament planned, and yeah, that's Arena's competition. Never mind the terrible rake on gems and gold, but start brewing a competitive angle to Arena by planning major events which pay in green. Dollar bills, yo. This sort of spectacle not only keeps your own player base engaged, but it grows it, as people want to come to Magic in hopes of cash and glory, or just want to watch those who do so. We need events big and small, with competitive prizes in order to do this. This can't just be a game for casuals only. Otherwise, Arena ends up being the tutorial for Magic Online. All right. Let's hit the quarterfinals with our top 4. More than anything else, these next 4 are, in my evaluation, the most critical things that are needed before Arena leaves its open beta. And we move on to number 4 with fix that economy. Yes, Magic players will pay for their addiction, but you must focus on long-term growth and sustainability as well. And a fair, generous, and in Arena's case, overhauled economy is needed. I talked about this before, but it is critical that this game not go out of beta with a non-competitive economy compared to games like Hearthstone and Artifact. Having Wizards of the Coast stay, well, we cost more, but our gameplay is better, is the wrong attitude to take. Ideally, eliminate gold and gems and have one singular currency. I propose lotus petals. I mean, gold and gems aren't even a part of Magic's lore and flavor. Lotus petals should be our singular currency. But if you can't combine both because of those demonic accountants, then at least have gems and gold have a sensible ratio into one another and a clear value in regards to the products that you're buying from the store. How much gold is a gem worth? Why can't I buy gems in ratios that fit the store? Again, I don't want to repeat my points from last time, but this hasn't changed, and it is critical that it do so. At the very least, don't use an intentionally obtuse and confusing economic system with the hopes of having players unclear on just how much money they are spending on items. Also, rename the gold and gems into lotus petals and moxes. Number 3, in-store tie-ins. Do you remember Duels of the Planeswalkers? It was a precursor to Magic Arena in a way, and it was responsible for a huge surge in new and returning players until Wizards of the Coast killed it with terrible decisions long before cutting support. One of the smartest things Magic the Gathering ever put forward in this modern era was Duels of the Planeswalkers. And one of the smartest things that Duels did, besides being playable on tablets, being on Steam and other platforms, was to have in-store tie-ins, where players were given their activation code, plus online bonuses, plus actual paper cards just for showing up at their local game store. This was brilliant. It tied the online to the paper, and it got huge new influxes of people not only playing Magic, but playing it at their local game store as well as online. I remember during this era just how many people would constantly be walking into my local game store to pick up their Duels of the Planeswalkers codes, and they'd all go, "Whoa, look at all these people playing Magic." And a lot of them wanted to find out how they could do so too. And it went both ways as well, because in order to get those paper promos of good cards too, I might add, Scavenging Ooze was one of them, a modern staple alternate art foil that you just get for signing up for Duels of the Planeswalkers. Can you imagine something like that for Arena? So paper players signed up for Duels just to get the paper promo, and online players came into their local game store to get their online codes. And then lo and behold, many of them started to play. And this is how you can support local game stores while also expanding into the new digital marketplace. It doesn't have to be an either-or thing. This is how you invest in long-term stability while still gaining short-term growth and success. Keep your ecosystem healthy, and like all organs in your body, tie them all together. In-store tie-ins for Arena, send Arena players into local game stores, give them a few paper cards. And speaking of this, number 2, codes for Arena in paper product. At Guilds of Ravnica pre-release, we were given a promo code for a free Magic Arena sealed event, which essentially meant that if you played in a pre-release event, you got a sort of quasi-free pre-release event on Arena. Fantastic. Simply fantastic. But there's so much more needed, and it is one of the most critical things. First of all, these pre-release codes were limited, one per customer. That right there, for any future codes, needs to go away. The point of an online code is that if I spend the money on a paper product, I get that product or something very similar to it online. This way, I do not have to buy the product twice. And again, this grows the whole ecosystem. Some people will come in and buy booster boxes and Planeswalker decks and bundles just to get the codes within, and in so doing, spend money at their local game store, and maybe get interested in and hooked on paper and play Friday Night Magic and maybe even some GPs more, which is why you need to usher in these online codes in just about every product you put out in paper. Planeswalker decks should have them. Bundles, each and every booster pack should have them. An online code in all paper product is the second most critical, most important thing Arena must do. But it must do them right. Don't give me a code for just 6 booster packs in a booster box. Wizards of the Coast can't be stingy with these. 1 booster pack in paper gets me 1 booster pack on Arena. And don't limit them per account. Let me go buy a case of booster boxes and then go nuts on entering those codes onto my account. And don't let them expire. So what's the number one most critical thing Arena needs before leaving open beta? If nothing else on my list gets done, this one thing is vital for the success of the game and Arena's online presence, and that's cross-platform compatibility. Wizards of the Coast, your customers all want to play Arena, but not everyone is on a PC. It is 2018. If you limit your platforms, then you limit your digital game. Don't limit yourself, Arena. Arena was built using Unity, which means cross-platform compatibility is supposedly easy and built in. Unity allows for Arena to be made available on Mac, on Steam, on tablets, on PlayStation 4. Do it. If nothing else, put Arena on Mac when it goes out of open beta so that any computer anywhere can play the game. This is also an astonishingly obvious requirement since it needs so little. The program is in Unity. Unify us. Don't delay. shut up and take our money. But what do you think? I want to know what features you feel Magic the Gathering Arena needs before it leaves open beta. Are you even on the open beta? Did you know that the beta had opened up and you can now sign up on a PC and play Magic Arena for free? Or is it free? What do you think of the economy? What do you think of the cost? What do you think of my ideas here today? Let me know in the comments below. And this video is brought to you by my and many other people's local game store, Card Kingdom, a brick-and-mortar pillar of this community, as well as the Patreon support of viewers such as you. These are the people that keep Tolarian Community College going and growing strong. So thank you.